Hello and welcome back to KXAN Plus. I'm your host, Esmeralda Zamora, and we're back with the Space Base with Eric Henrikson. Eric, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
It's a little early right now.
It is a little early. I don't know if people just saw, but we're not talking about HIV injections. We're talking about black holes.
Nope, that was our previous stream.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, but this is a great topic. Black holes discovered by UT astronomers.
Yeah.
Tell us more about that.
So this is the most distant black hole we've ever discovered, which means it comes from, so when we talk about distance in space, we're talking about how long it takes for light to reach our eyes, and it takes, this light years, so how long light travels over the course of a year. And this one is very, very far away, and which means the light is very, very old. And so not only is it far, but it's old. It comes from the origins of our universe, which is pretty cool.
Whoa.
Yeah. Pretty neat. We're talking about some old stuff today.
And it's the longest confirmed, right? Or the farthest away from
Farthest
us?
confirmed, yeah. So it's 13 point, let me look at the number so I think 13.3 billion years old, which means it's 13.3 billion light years away from us.
I'm reading your notes here, and it says it was seen as the 500 million years after the Big Bang.
Right. So the Big Bang occurred about 13.7, nearly 8 million years or billion years ago.
Yep.
And so this happened about 500 million years after it. So that's how old it is, which there's been some debate in the space community of when can black holes form. And within recent years, they've discovered these, they call them little red dot galaxies that are like really advanced galaxies that exist.
Mm-hmm.
And to see a black hole in one of these means that the universe didn't need to be that old for black holes to form.
Mm.
If that makes sense.
And how do they know that this black hole particularly is from our universe? How did they put that together?
Well, it has to be in our universe. We haven't seen another universe. There is a multiversal theory. It is early. I mean, if you've watched any of the Marvel films, there could be a multiverse out there. But it definitely exists in our universe. It's in a different galaxy. And so galaxies are... How are I going to do this? So, we're on planet, and then we have a solar system. Our planet's in a solar system. Our solar system's in a galaxy. Our galaxy's in the universe. There are other galaxies in the universe. This galaxy is really far away, and it is a little red dot on the James Webb Space Telescope. This is this giant space telescope we launched in 2021, and it looks at infrared light. So, if you know anything about light, it comes in waveforms, and infrared is one of them that travels really far, but it can be disrupted pretty easily. And so the James Webb has all these cool tech on it, this big shield and stuff to prevent other things from interfering with this light. But anyway, it's this very tiny red dot, very, very far away from us, billions of light years away, which means it's billions of years old. And we can see it with James Webb. And these are some artistic renderings UT Austin does. If you want to see the name of the artist who did them at UT, it's in our story, KXAN.com. But those are the renderings they did of what this thing looks like. And so the way they see this is kind of cool. When you're looking at it through a certain device, you can see light moving away and towards, or gas releasing. It appears on the infrared or on the wavelength scale, right? And so when it's moving, I think it's away from us, it is red, and then it's coming towards us, it is blue light.
And what causes it to be so red? Because that's like super red. You can point that out.
Oh, that's colored. That's colored. This is specifically on the I think it's spectroscopy. It's a word I can't pronounce. I'm not that great at pronouncing words, so I'll be honest. It's a word I can't pronounce. But on this specific way, the James Webb sees this, it swirls. And so as it's moving the different directions, we can see these different colors. And that's the signifier. That's the black hole and the size of the black hole. But this kind of gives you an idea of all the different gases and stuff pouring into this black hole, which is, a big like gravity well. Yeah, where gravity's super condensed in the middle and everything just pours into it.
Yeah, can you give like a bigger description of what a black hole is for those viewers who don't really know?
The hard part about a black hole is we don't really know what it is exactly. There is a lot of theories out there, but basically it's this spot in space that with the gravity is so dense, so thick,
so strong.
Yeah. It's like it pulls in everything, including light. So if you see like how this image shows like the light kind of swirling around it and the gas kind of swirling around it, and it moves into a 3D space. You ever see the movie Interstellar?
Yes.
They have a really cool representation of a black hole there, but it just pulls in everything. and we don't really know what they are. There's like tiny ones and giant ones. This is a really, really big one. It is, what's this number? Oh yeah, it's like 300 million times the size of our sun. Is how big this thing is.
So it could definitely eat Earth up whole.
Right. Now keep in mind, it's 13 billion light years away, so you don't have anything to worry about. Keep it, yeah. We don't have safety concerns with this, but it is extremely large. And it'd be one of those things. If we had a black hole like this come by, we wouldn't even know it. We're so small that time would stretch around us, but we wouldn't really recognize it, and then eventually everything would just fall apart. So, and we would get sucked in. But it's not like you'd go whoa and like go down like a drain. It would be like a very slow procedure as everything, like our atoms got ripped apart. But we wouldn't know. That's how like weird
we
it would be.
just be living in the black hole.
Yeah, and things would just kind of like
be weird.
Yeah, it would just be weird. Things would be weird. But that's kind of one idea. No one really knows. It's such a big concept. But we do know they're like in the center of galaxies that things can, like a supernova can occur and it can compress into a black hole as all that matter kind of erupts out and then shrinks back in. There's theories how that could happen, but like our galaxy at the very center of the Milky Way galaxy, our galaxy that our solar system is in, that our planet's in, is a supermassive black hole that keeps that spiral. If you've seen photos of the Milky Way, it spirals inward, right? Mm-hmm. And so at the center of that is a giant black hole that's kind of sucking things in.
So there is one closer to us.
Yeah, but like when we say close, it's it's not me down the street. It's forever and a day. Yeah. And we would never the human race could not reach it ever with our current technology.
Well, hopefully we don't reach it.
Well, we could. I mean, eventually, maybe we can build the stuff that make us do it, but that'd be kind of cool. But that's, millions of years away. It's millions of light years away. So keep that in mind.
And it's 300 million solar masses large.
So like 300 million of our suns.
That's crazy.
It's huge, right? It's really, really, really big. And one of the big things is because this galaxy is so... This galaxy exists at the beginning of time, or close to the beginning of time, only 500 million years since the Big Bang began, that it occurred. This galaxy is like a really kind of a baby galaxy in the state of the universe. So how does this thing this large exist then, is the question that they're trying to discover. And so this is discovered by a team with University of Texas, and they're the group of astronomers, and they worked with other astronomers, and the paper was published this month, early August.
That's awesome that we discovered that.
Yeah, they have really cool. Austin. We have some really cool astronomy teams at UT that are doing some really cool astronomy work. There's, every other month they have something that publishes. Yeah,
we talked about that astronomer that was named after a star.
Asteroid got named after him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so cool. It's a lot. They do a lot of cool stuff over the University of Texas. I'm not promoting them, but they do cool stuff. I'm going there today to look at dinosaurs. So
I know. I saw your story. I was hoping we were going to talk about that. You're like, are we talking about
dinosaurs? I'm like, no. I'm talking about dinosaurs later. I'm just going to go film it today.
Well, that's a teaser. We will be talking about dinosaurs.
Later we'll talk about dinosaurs and dinosaur teeth specifically. But yeah, so the next step really for this is they use the James Webb Space Telescope to study this black hole and these little red dot galaxies. And they're going to study it some more and get more information, hopefully, and learn more about these galaxies and what they say about the early universe.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to read up on this particular black hole, we have that article that Eric wrote on our website, KXAN.com. You can find it on the homepage. But next, we are going to talk about a white dwarf. What is a white dwarf?
So a white dwarf is a dead star. So this is a visual representation of what they look like. So it's a really just a dead star. It's actually this is the depressing part. When our star dies, when our sun dies, it will likely become a white dwarf. And
when is that going to be?
I think it's 3 billion years from now. Oh. Something like that. It's maybe it's a few hundred million. I think it's a few hundred million. It's a long ways. Another one of those things that we do not have to worry about. It'll grow and shrink and become a white dwarf. So these are basically they're dead stars, and they've kind of like a star at the end of its life. Aww. Some stars are big enough to go supernova, where they explode. That's a technical term. And other ones get big and then they shrink and compress. Like our star is expected to grow really big and then just kind of compress into a white dwarf.
Our star is already pretty huge, right?
Yeah, but the way that it's going to get big enough to I think it goes all the way out to Jupiter when it's going to grow, and it'll consume the Earth. It'll consume Mars. We'll get wiped out. But again, hundreds of million years, human race probably won't live that long.
You never know.
You never know. Who knows? If we go out there into space, whatever. But, the dinosaurs only lived a couple 100 million years.
The dinosaurs weren't as smart as we are.
Well, some would say. I don't know. I'm not gonna talk about the intelligence of the human race in broad terms, not here on the internet.
So how hot are these white dwarfs?
So white dwarfs, you jump to my numbers. They are. Why did I write it this way? It is 21,000 degrees Kelvin, which is 37,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
Wow.
So you would incinerate like that, right? So this white dwarf was discovered by the Hubble Space Telescope. Not this one specifically. This was stock video of an animation to show you what a white dwarf looks like. There's not video of a white dwarf out there. But this was discovered by the Hubble Space Telescope, which was our old school telescope. It uses visible light. Mm-hmm. You've probably seen a lot of photos from the Hubble telescope. Hubble telescope is banger.
Is it awesome. That huge telescope? It
looks like it's a giant telescope floating in space. Yeah. So it's been around for decades. It's one of our favorite telescopes out there. We use it. It's got so many pretty pictures out of the Hubble. James Webb is kind of, James Webb's it's like 100 times more powerful or something like that. Also, Hubble looks at visible light, like the light you are watching this right now. Mm-hmm. James Webb looks at infrared light. So they're very different technical specs. But Hubble's, it's old school. It's the classic. But what it found was a white dwarf created by the merging of possibly two white dwarfs.
Oh, interesting. So an even bigger white dwarf.
Yes, not huge. This one's only like a 1, and I think it's 1.2 our size of our sun. So not huge. I mean, our sun right now. So it's a little bigger than our star.
Two suns?
No, like together? 1.2. So like okay. A 20th of a percent larger than our star is now. I don't know if you had a ruler, you could measure that, I guess. But just it's 20% heavier. So it's denser too. So these white dwarfs are denser than like an active star because they collapse.
Yeah. And what do they do after they turn into white dwarfs? Are they just kind of like floating around as stars, or do they have a purpose? They fade?
Yeah, they just kind of.
Oh, that's sad.
Sadly, just die. But this one's cool because it's two. So I was reading like all the science in this, and I'm gonna try to get like as not too granular, but basically, the white dwarf we discovered through the Hubble showed carbon in its atmosphere, but carbon doesn't occur in white dwarfs. It can't escape the atmosphere, so it's not there. So the only way carbon can be in the atmosphere if another star, either a white dwarf or a different star, brought it into this white dwarf. They merge. And so this tells us like, hey, there was these theories that these stars had merged before, but now we actually have kind of, I wouldn't say proof, but like backing up some evidence that this has actually occurred. And it's really interesting because the atmosphere is like, it's too hot for carbon, but the carbon had to get there somewhere. And so how did it get there? Well, it got there through a merger, possibly.
So we know that this is a confirmed merger. How many other confirmed mergers have we discovered?
There is 7, I believe. Let me check my notes. I think it's 7.
Wow, not very many.
But those were believed to be mergers. This one's probably like closer to the confirmation of evidence. I'm gonna say confirmation of evidence.
What do they use to say, okay, this is confirmed?
Okay, so when you're determining, gosh, this is a hard one to explain. When you're trying to like determine what stuff's made up in space, different molecules emit different waveforms of light. Mm-hmm. So if you look at a star and it's like red, you can determine what is burning up in it.
Another star?
Well, no, just like materials, like atoms and stuff, like what compounds are there. You can kind of do that on Earth too. You can take like sulfur and throw it in a fire, and it'll change the fire's color. Yeah. And so like different compounds, different molecules emit different colors. So one of the ways we determine what things are made of when we're looking through telescopes, like the Hubble Space Telescope, like James Webb, is determine what waveforms are coming off of them, and then you can determine what makes it up. So by looking at this white dwarf, they found the waveform for carbon, and they were able to go, oh, there's carbon in this atmosphere. That's weird. It's emitting within the atmosphere. Very, very strange.
Interesting. So it's pretty rare, you would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Though it's rare for us to discover this. Remember, space is big. So we're still like discovering like little nooks and crannies and things. But it could tell us that like, yeah, more of these out there. Who knows?
So you're saying there could be more of these out there, but they're hidden because
We just haven't found them yet. I wouldn't say they're hidden.
Okay.
They're not like hiding behind something or other. But
hiding behind a rock.
yeah, like, they're just sneaking around. But they're out there. There's a possibility that these are out there. So what this will lead to is this is found by NASA. So NASA will do more research to discover if there's more of these white dwarf mergers occurring, if they can prove it at other stars, and if so, what does that kind of say about the end life of stars?
Yeah, like what is the significance of these white dwarfs? Do we benefit from knowing any of this stuff?
We benefit from knowledge, but it's not going to impact us directly. It may teach us something. It teaches us about end life of stars, and you got to remember, like, the things that are made in stars are the things that make us. We're made of stardust, right? That's truism. It's hydrogen, helium, carbon, all these things that like make up our bodies are made in stars. So when stars explode, they spread all that material out, and then it becomes planets. It becomes humans. We're made of stardust, right?
So we are stars.
We are stars. Yes, it's like a fact. We are made of the things that are made in stars. So we are a byproduct of stars, which is wild when you think about it. But that's just science, right? We're made of stars. So if we learn more about the end life of these stars, maybe we'll learn more about where what is created in our universe as they collapse and fade away. So yeah, pretty cool. It is interesting little nugget, and also had cool cartoons to show alongside of
cartoons.
I mean, those are cartoons. Those little animations are cartoons. Like someone made those. I don't know. It wasn't me today. Sometimes I make them. Sometimes I'm like, I have no idea. I don't have the time to make this right now.
I don't know how to even start to make that.
Pen to paper. It's the trick.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm old school. I do like 2D animation where I draw frame by frame. But sometimes I do stuff like this, not 3D like that. But anyway, it's pretty cool. Got a chance to show you that and talk about this cool discovery of two stars merging and what it could mean for our future. But it's something that, again, NASA's going to have to keep looking into.
And UT astronomers, congrats on discovering this black hole, and hopefully there's no more.
Oh, there's a lot out there. Hopefully they don't get us, I guess is what I'm worried.
Hopefully they don't get us.
But I always think about whenever we're worried about things in space coming and colliding with Earth or sucking us in or something, space is so big. It's infinite. So A, there's infinite possibilities, but B, that's also means there's a lot of space for us to kind of scoop by. And also humans live so small. We're like such a tiny creature in the scope of things that it's like
in space, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean we are. Tiny. We're not even ants is not even doing it justice. We're so tiny compared to the universe. But
that is so scary.
Yeah, it can be, I guess. I don't know. Sometimes I look up at the stars and I think about how infinite it all is, and I'm like, whoa. Yeah. But other times, I mean, this should remind you how important things are here on Earth, and that since we are so small and things are so far out there, we may never see anything else again, that maybe all we have is each other and we should take care of each other.
Yeah, and if you take anything from this stream, please take that we are stars.
We're made of stardust, yeah.
Are stars.
That's an old Carl Sagan line. I'm stealing that from Carl Sagan. He's a very famous astronomer and scientist. So Carl Sagan said that we're all made of stardust. And that's not me being philosophical. That's me quoting someone very famous. So
yes,
there you go.
It's fun to think of.
Yeah,
sure.
We're made of stardust. It's really nice. Really nice thought.
Yeah, really nice thought. Well, again, we do have that article that you published. What's in this article that our viewers can learn?
Oh, a little more details on what they discovered about the black hole, kind of information, how they found it, some more renderings that I thought were pretty neat. My favorite ones I kind of put in there.
Yeah, this one is pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that one. That one's kind of like, I don't know. I always think about space that's interesting to me is we always think about it as like a flat thing, but it's 3D.
It's actually like a big black room.
Yeah, and things just kind of float in a plane, but there are things above and below, which I think is kind of interesting. I don't know. That's just a weird Ericism, I guess. Well, think about how 3D things are sometimes. You ever think about how weird your hands are? See, this is where my brain goes. They're weird. Look at them. This is a strange creation, right? It's just bizarre. Feet are bizarre. This is
helpful. We can do anything.
It is very helpful, but like just stare at it for a while. Hands are very weird.
I don't know, not mine.
They are, trust me. Look at how the joints. Look how the joints are. It's a strange creation. If I was a designer of humans, I would not. This is not the way to do it. It'd be clamps and magnets or something.
Well, maybe one day in the future we'll be able to redesign the human body.
Feet are weird. Feet are strange. Feet don't make any sense.
They help you walk.
They do help you walk, but also they cause a lot of back issues because of the way they're designed.
Well, that's what we have shoes for.
Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully that helps, but it doesn't always. You're young. You'll get there. I woke up with back pain today. It's because I'm walking funny. Also laid down strange. And I have a dog who sleeps in my bed. If anyone doesn't think I like dogs, I have 3 dogs in the bed at all times. And one of them is a puppy, and he takes up the entire bed. And he also likes to put his feet, his paws, into my back all night, which is just wonderful.
I kick my dog off every single night, maybe like 5 times in the night.
Oh.
And somehow I wake up in the morning and she's just on my spot, and I've scooted over to the edge of the bed.
Oh, no, I can't kick Brody out. He does get up and move around a lot, but he likes to lay with his butt in my face. So I wake up with a tail doing that most mornings. It's great.
And I'm sure there's other planets that don't have dogs like we do.
Oh, 100%.
So
maybe they have like whales.
Appreciate them.
Are you an Avatar fan? I'm playing the video game right now.
I am.
The new
an
movie
Avatar
comes out
fan.
this December. They have other things. Anyway, we shouldn't be talking about. Let's wrap it up.
Okay, well, thank you for joining us. Again, that article is on our website, KXAN.com. You can find it on the homepage. Please download the KXAN Plus free streaming app anywhere you get your platforms to find videos like the Space Base and much more. Thanks for joining us, Eric.
Yes, thanks for having me.